On tonight's episode, we talk about the new MCU movie, The Marvels.
Another pop culture news from the week.
So, we saw a lot of things this week. We're going to talk about some really good things and some mediocre things. So, where do we start?
Well, why don't we start with the Marvels? Since we
Mediocre
just saw that.
it is.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. So we went in, I think at this point, in this phase of the MCU...
Oh, but that's just before I start. This phase is a consensus, and the studios know. Bob Iger this week was talking about, we spend a lot on doing quantity when you should focus on quality. So
excuse me, what?
Right? But it is a consensus that this phase is the worst of all Marvel phases. Just start. Okay, go ahead.
Go in with extremely low expectations. I can honestly say I had fun. It was fun watching it in an IMAX theater. There was space. There were flashy, fun combat scenes. There were cool uniforms. It was a fun watch. And I really like Kamala Khan. She's great.
As I personally thought that once they announced that would be the Marvels, once the art came out and trailers came out, I thought she would steal the scene, which she did. We're gonna talk more about that, but it's not the worst MCU movie, which I think it might be the Eternals. But this one is not in good company. It's on the top with the worst. But
so it was fun, but it was like so riddled with plot holes and unnecessary scenes that didn't add anything and that kind of took away, and like so much potential that just wasn't realized. So in short, it's kind of what we expected.
Yeah.
Even though I really wanted it not to be, like I was actively trying to subvert my own expectations so as to give an honest and unbiased reaction. It's just it.
Yeah. Even the surprises were like
there were surprises.
There was no surprise. The post-credit scene, which is not post-credit scene, so
mid-credit.
If you're gonna be pissed after watching the movie, good news for you. You don't have to wait for the entire credits to have like a piece of. I would like to see that one day. Anyways, it doesn't happen at the very end. It happens mid-credits after the main initial credits. I don't know what they call that.
It's a mid-credit scene. It is absolutely delightful.
That one
Quite
is
the
like,
palate
cool.
cleanser.
I always love that guy. I mean, doing everything he does. But when they cast him to be the Beast, I was like, that's so cool. Hey. Oh yes, to be the best of his job, of his acting career.
Yeah.
Anyways,
sorry, grammar gets a little tricky sometimes.
Right. Anyways. you if you're an old fan, old, is that the word? Old fan. If you are a classic fan,
there we go.
You will love this scene. If you're a younger fan, you're gonna be like,
oh, that was nice.
Okay, there's a guy, difficult guy. Anyways, back to the main movie, The Marvels. For me, what bugged me the most was this. It's like poorly written, and I post this phrase that came out of the movie, and it's like someone wrote that. Someone got paid to write this. Someone got paid. Someone went on a strike for writing this. Someone got a raise after the strike was solved, and we're gonna talk about that for writing this. And the phrase is, "Go, Monica, you have to fly." It's like, oh, I can fly. Monica, use black girl magic.
It wasn't like the greatest moment. It wasn't the worst moment, but it wasn't the greatest.
Yeah. So. But just a non-spoiler spoiler, the stupid treatment they did to Nick Fury on the previous movie, and they've been doing on the MCU in general, There's no redemption on this one.
Yeah, and that really bugged me. And for me, it killed a lot of. In fact, I personally think this movie could have been way better if we just cut out all of Nick Fury's scenes, because for me it was so disappointing. Like when we first met Nick Fury, he was so cool. He was
the man that knew everything. He was the man with the plan.
Everything. He had a plan. In fact, you weren't always sure if you could trust him, because like this is definitely some like super spy, secret agent type stuff happening. Like so cool. Always.
But lately.
But yeah, this version, like he's just not inspiring.
Yeah.
At all.
He's a.
They just like kind of gutted him of everything that made Nick Fury so cool. I only know him from the movie, so I can't comment on Nick Fury from the comics. But I feel like he's been gutted of everything that made him a compelling character, and that was really frustrating. To see.
In the first Avengers, well, first he put together the Avengers, right? And in the first Avengers, he went head to head against the World Council.
Yeah.
And he was on top of things. He knew everything. He had contingency plans for contingency plans.
Yeah.
And he's been reduced to a very, very first of all, on Endgame, he was like complex. Like he didn't show up. Everybody was fighting there. And you might say, oh, but he's not a superhero. By some measurements, Hawkeye is not a superhero.
Yeah.
So Fury could be there shooting Natasha. Exactly like Natasha.
Yeah.
He could be there shooting and kicking butts. But no. So just FYI, the treatment of Fury on this one is not a redemption for what they did on Secret Invasion, what they did before, and what they did before. Yeah. The plot
not
is
my cup of tea.
The plot is it's a mess. They changed things from previous iterations on what they explain. Kamala Harris. No, sorry.
Nope.
Kamala Khan.
Kamala Khan. We like Kamala Khan.
The good
Kamala Khan is delightful. A breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
In a worn-out franchise.
One thing that they did to her that was not good. It was that some of her funny moments, big funny moments she had, and she had a lot, but some of the big ones they put on the trailer, which it's a problem with every movie, I guess. But some of the things they established for her on her TV show, they were different than the books. On this one, they kind of combined something from not from the TV show, something new, something from the TV show, and something from the book, and mix the whole thing. I mean, the justification for them to be together, it was like for two of them to be together, sure. For Kamala to be dead, there was not really,
kind of, I don't know. I feel like the rules keep changing. They were never clearly the rules for all three of them. The rules for their powers like haven't been clearly established, and they keep changing in ways that are confusing. And clearly, these changes are only happening based on what the plot needs at that moment, and that
when they
you can only suspend disbelief for so long. I feel like when you're doing that. So again, like I'd get into it, I'd be having fun, and then there'd be something like that would just break it for me.
Captain Marvel per se, Miss Marvel. I mean, she was Miss Marvel, but Carol Danvers. Granted, on this one, she was pretty. She looked better. Not only her face and her body, but her uniforms. She changes uniforms three times.
Anyways,
because on the first one it was like it looked really bad. On this one, it looked better.
And I feel like she had a lot more to do in this one. Like she had more, I don't know, she had more range, more opportunity. I feel like this was better for her character than the first one was.
If anything,
low expectations.
Yeah, if anything, the addition of the two new characters, especially Kamala, was saved the movie. If it was her by herself, that movie would be short and sad.
I don't know. So Monica Rambeau was like my favorite thing to come out of WandaVision. Because that show, I felt like, my expectations were here. And
you didn't like the aerospace engineer? That everybody thought was Pete Richards, and it was just
it was just nobody. A guy. That wasn't my favorite. No, like I had really high hopes for her, and I feel like She was okay. I feel like they kind of wasted a really great opportunity
Yeah.
with her. Also, why is the saber insignia a dollar sign?
Oh, that's other thing that I hated. In the show, they established us in the books. There was sword. They even have the acronym and the logo for the sword. It's beautiful. On the show, on this one, they no, it's sword now. No, it's saber now. Again,
Saber.
and it's a dollar sign. Yeah, you're right. It was, yeah.
Which, like, how did that pass? Who designed that? How did it pass?
I mean, I think it was Scrooge McDuck.
That okay. I rescind my comments. That makes more
Anyways,
sense. I just kept hearing Sam Mendelsohn in my head, perhaps because we meet several like Skrull refugees.
Oh,
and everything.
just
Like,
before you
oh,
mention
yeah.
that, the scrolls utilized on this one is like they messing up a big planet, a big empire, the Skrull Empire, a big race. They've been messing up since the first Captain Marvel, and this one again they keep messing up. Post Secret Invasion, that they said they were all here and they were all trying to survive here as underprivileged class of people, immigrants or whatever. The Krees on this one is also again a big one. The Marvel villain problem. That is, it's like they don't know, they don't learn, or they don't want to write villains. It's terrible. It's bad. In the beginning of the movie, she was awful. She couldn't walk. She's walking away. It's like, what's going on with this woman? Fortunately, she doesn't walk much during the rest of the movie, so the walk problem is solved or hidden. But it's a victim. It's a vengeful remorse. No, what's the other word for remorse?
Scorn? Regret?
No. Not like when I do something
Guilt?
to you. Grudge. It's a vengeful, grudgeful.
Not grudgeful, you hold a grudge.
Huh? Is it grudgeful a word?
No.
No, it is.
Now it is.
Okay.
You heard it here first, folks.
There you go. Hashtag grudgeful. Grudgeful for seeing that movie. Anyways, it's a grudgeful, vengeful victim. Not a villain. And if the hero is as good as bad as the villain is, this one is Marvel doesn't do villains. They do like people say, oh, if it was you would do the same. It's the same crap. But again, you were talking about Ben Mendelsohn. Go ahead.
Oh, is it Ben Mendelsohn?
Yeah. What'd you
I keep
say?
saying Sam.
No, it's Ben.
I really want his name to be Sam.
Okay, let's call him.
Anyway, yeah.
Hey, Sam. And he says, no,
Like,
it's
look,
Ben. No, you're
like,
Sam.
no, you're wrong. Anyway, Mr. Mendelsohn. I just kept hearing his line from Rogue One where he's like, we're this close to greatness.
And he was a Skrull.
Exactly. I was just like, maybe this is why. But I felt like this kept happening in the movie. Like, there were some cool concepts here. Some cool characters. A lot of potential. Like, this close. And they just kept, like, veering away at the critical moments.
Yeah. And feelings, there's still a problem with feelings there. It's like they have some moments that they get clearly put there to show feelings.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some things that happen. And I had this friend in college. We saw Percy Jackson, right? And I'm not gonna say what happens on Captain Marvel, but you might get it if you listen to this after what I'm talking about. She complained on how the Percy Jackson characters have his parents, right? He has parents, right? They die, and 30 seconds later, he's like,
Oh, yeah. No, for real.
Yeah.
There were a lot of moments like that where, like,
Yeah.
okay, this is a great conversation, but in this context, makes no sense. Again.
Anyways, we talk about this mediocre movie way too much. Is anything else you want to say?
Just, it was fun. It was fun, but, like, if you think about it for just a moment too long, it all falls apart.
Is one to watch on streaming.
It's like McDonald's French fries. You eat them when they're hot, it's like, that's great. But if they cool off at all, like, this is barely a food item.
Anyways, so the Marvels, starring Brie Larson, Emma Vellani, I don't know the name of anybody else, Samuel L. Jackson, John Ashton, I think that's the name of the villain.
I don't remember.
And
Sorry.
yeah, it's out there in all theaters everywhere. If you want to go check it, go check it. If not, wait for streaming. It's not the end of the world, because this one excites 3 people. Oh, by the way, we were talking about how this movie was a failure on pre-sales weeks ago when they start selling tickets. We saw the theater was like virtually empty. There was like, I want to say 30 people there on the IMAX screen, which is full. Which, granted, it's a preview, but it always full when the movie is good.
For Marvel movies.
Oh, when the movie is like, yeah, I want to see this.
Yeah, so like for
and compared to other Marvel movies, was
like for No Way Home, packed.
Oh yeah.
On Thursday night, like completely packed.
Yeah.
Which, granted, like that's a pretty high bar, but like that. Anyway.
Yeah. You mentioned Spider-Man. Just some things. What's successful about Kamala Khan is that she's young, she's youthful, and she's funny. She's basically Spider-Man, which
it's
is
an apt comparison.
Which she saved. She was like, some of her lines were the same lines that Peter had when he met Peter Jackson, Samuel Jackson. You know,
yeah.
Like, is this an Avengers test?
Yeah, she does bring a lot of that, but I feel like she's different. And part of why I like her is like she is very much her own person. For example, she has a healthy, supportive family around her. Yeah, and it's like, so I. Yeah.
Anyways, the Marvel available theaters everywhere. IMAX and IMAX, regular IMAX, or wait for streaming. It's on you. We warned you.
Yep. All right.
Now we're gonna talk about what? Something awesome or more mediocrity?
I'll leave it up to you. I picked the first one.
Let's get done with the mediocrity.
Okay, Knights of the Zodiac.
Exactly.
Aww,
so
babe.
Netflix. We saw on Netflix. The movie is not new. It's produced by Sony a couple months ago. Was on the theaters. I wanted to watch, but I couldn't find room in between all the things we watched. I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah, it was decidedly meh.
Because it was beyond meh. If you know the source material for this one, I mean, if you don't know the source material, you would be disappointed. You'd hate it. But if you know the source material, you would like curse.
Would be offended.
Sony producers, executives, like why? Why? You had like so much. You had such a great source material, and you wasted like that. Because if they made this work, if they made the first one work, they had a Japanese anime. Anime. It's a Japanese anime. What's a kotaku? Otaku.
I don't know. Sorry, babe.
No, maybe I'm thinking something else. But it's a Japanese animation, which down there they call anime. That was huge in the entire planet. Weirdly, it was not huge in the United States, but in the entire planet, it was huge. And it is like us Japanese animations go. This one lasts for. It's still going. The original was 1985. To this day, they still have a series. They just have a brand new series on Netflix.
Fantastic.
And it's so good. It's so exciting. The music is so good. I watched when I was a kid. And I honestly felt tempted to start watching it again. It's not on streaming. I mean, it's on Crunchyroll. I'm not gonna sign Crunchyroll for this now. Also, it's a commitment because it's like 700 episodes or so. So, but it's so good. And Netflix has this movie made by Sony with Sean Bean. Mm-hmm. What's the lady's name?
Famke Janssen. I've almost definitely pronounced wrong.
And some other. Did I send a video of Saoirse Ronan?
Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse Ronan. Saoirse Ronan.
Sure.
Huh? What did I say?
I don't know.
Talking about Irish, because her name is Irish. Irish names. Did I send that one?
I think you may have. I've seen a few about that.
It's like there's some names like only consonants.
Yeah.
And there's some vowels there that she sees, and there's names with only vowels, and she sees like consonants there. It's very interesting. But anyways, why I start talking about her?
I have no idea.
but anyways, on this one made by Sony, it's sad. It's really bad, really bad. You see, I don't know, Fantastic Four 1982. made.
Jeez.
It's bad.
That's
It's bad.
that hurt.
There's movie that make fun. There's movie that there are movies that make fun of superhero movies. They are better than this one, like Mystery Man with Ben Stiller.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny. It's so creative.
Yeah.
And yeah, this one was bad. Dragon Ball Z had a live action movie with good talent. They have that girl, I can't remember her name, and they have that guy that I barely remember the name, McAvoy.
Really made an impact on you.
Yeah. It's Japanese. At least this one has some Japanese casting. On Dragon Ball, they had McAvoy, and the girl was not Japanese.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And everybody else, I don't think there was any Japanese. And this one, at least they had, and the initial scene is like, oh, that's cool, but that's it.
Yeah. No, that's pretty much what I thought. I was very intrigued at the beginning, even though the production value was a little.
Yeah,
like,
it's not up there. Yeah,
it's not up there, but you know, a good story can overcome the worst production value. Doctor Who was a great example of that. The BBC did not invest a lot.
Oh, Star Trek
In those early scenes. Sure, yeah. Star Trek, the original series. Yeah. For sure.
Oh, the Next Generation too. The Next Generation, they had.
It's pretty good for its time, though.
Yeah, but they had. It was back in the day. It still kind of is like this, but it's back in the day when TV was like TV. It's like actors wouldn't do TV. Now everybody wants to do TV streaming. It's like, but Next Generation was still around the time that TV was a second class. It's like the movie stars, movie budgets. Next Generation was still on the time that TV was, and they did a terrific job. They had standards, they had quality with what they had.
Right. Yeah. So the point is, like, production value does not make or break a movie. I really feel like it really comes down to writing. As important as all these other things are, I don't think that anything can really make up for poor writing, and that's where this suffered. Like, the first scene, I was into it, and then by about halfway through, I was like, if I fell asleep. Oh,
right.
Well. Like, which is tragic, because again, like, this is a cool concept. I never saw the original show. I'm not super attached to it, but, like, you're bringing on, like, Greek pantheons and, like, Athena, who is arguably the coolest of the Greek gods, and it's just powers and armors and
fights.
This is totally my thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't into it.
Yeah. Funky Yamson's character, I think that don't quote me on that, or quote me on that, she doesn't exist on the show. And I don't know, they wanted to create a bad guy that was a woman to have a relationship with the girls, like mother and daughter. Anyways, now it's out to Zodiac, I can offer that. It's available on Netflix. If you wanna, feel a little bit of your cosmo burning, it's like, yeah.
Yes, if you're a fan of the show, go watch it.
And you wanna hate, go watch it.
Or watch something else.
Okay.
That will make you happy.
Enough mediocrity.
Okay. Gen B.
Well, this one. What do you think of this one?
Okay. I don't have any, like, hard feelings against it. We watch No Hard Feelings.
With Jennifer Lawrence and the kid that.
And other people.
The canceled. He's going to Harvard to be an actor.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah. It was not. Let me put it this way: the trailer looks hilarious.
Yes, it is marketed as a raunchy comedy.
Yeah, and it looks hilarious, but they cut everything in the movie that is very funny, put it on the trailer. When we spread that throughout the movie, there's nothing in between us funny or constant. It's weak because I was expecting, like, laughs. The concept was found that the movie was wrote about this Craigslist posting about parents hiring a friend for their son
to their very sheltered son.
I think the date part, I don't know. Anyways, to date before he would go to college, and it's funny. It's like Buy Me Love. I think it's something like that. The guy hired a girlfriend, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a classic 80s.
Oh, okay.
I think it's John Hughes. No, the other guy. Anyways, anyways, it was. They had tried, and I guess they did. There was some more serious to it.
It had more substance.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised because the whole like an hour and a half of like double entendres is just that's boring to me, and because of like our religious background, I have a really hard time like rooting for if the whole point of the show is like get laid. I have a hard time getting behind that.
True, but I mean.
So this had a little more substance to it. It got a little more thoughtful. There was like growth, healing, all this other good stuff. So I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
it had a little more meat to it than what was marketed.
Yeah, but yeah, maybe that's if this movie was in the 80s, in the 90s, even in the 2000s, it would be hilarious.
Yeah.
But now we live in times that you can make fun of anything. Comedies can be funny, so this one was like ha ha ha, and then 20 minutes of thoughtful contemplacy about she wants to save the house of her mother. And anyways.
Do you think it's because of the times we live in, or because like that kind of story's been told? Of like, we gotta get this skinny boy laid.
No, not only that. I think so. For me, in the trailer, there was a shock of generations moments of jokes. She gets into a party, and then there's two guys that start arguing with her, and then she says, "Get out of here, you gay," or something like that. And there's like, "You calling us gay? You homophobe?" With cameras, and it's like, no, I'm not a homophobe. That shock of generations kind of joke.
Yeah.
That I thought there would be a lot more because she was older.
She is older, yeah.
And it was like, I don't know, 5 minutes of the movie, so I felt lied to.
The marketing was terrible.
Yeah.
The marketing was really inaccurate.
It's not bad. It's just not the movie I was expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
So just go into that knowing what we know now.
Yeah. Now the good stuff.
Okay.
Well, before the good stuff, we saw the ending of a couple of shows this week.
Oh yeah.
We saw the ending of the morning show. I was like, this season was kind of. I was like, it should end, but they're not gonna end.
Yeah.
We saw the end of the Gay Pirates of Our Flag Means Death. But we saw some great pirates. But we're gonna talk about Gen V first.
Yeah. So this is the Boys spinoff, and like it could stand on its own. I thought it was fantastic. Yeah. And they made it like it was a spinoff, but they made it stand on its own. We didn't need any references to any characters from the first show. Yeah. The story was like compelling and like interesting. The great cast of characters, like. Dang.
Yeah,
I almost like it better than The Boys.
Talking about the lack of C words and the lack of Butcher screaming at people. Anyways,
it is very bizarre. It is very bizarre, especially given my previous comment about my religious background. That like when someone finally drops a C word, it's like there we go. Okay.
Yeah, it's like geez. Anyways, so you're completely right. It stands up for itself. It lives up to the reputation of the universe created in The Boys. It's independent. It's a classic expanded universe on a really good way because it expands, not straightly connected, which is not necessary. The universe is big, the Earth is big, the city is big. You can tell it's a story about the other side of the town, on the same town, and still not connecting to other characters. So they do a terrific job, and They had balls, independency, autonomy to create things that will affect the entire narrative universe, and we see that in the finale. And they already announced.
Yeah, there's going to be a back and forth. So the next season of The Boys is going to pick up like a couple days after this finale, and then the next season of Gen V is going to pick up right after the next season of The Boys. So they're like, it's not crossovers, I guess, but like these stories are building each other and building this universe.
Yeah,
Frankly, I'm here for it.
It's like they do. It's like they do on comic books all the time. You know, you have the X-Men comic book, and you have Wolverine comic book, and you know, on his book he's doing his thing. On the X-Men books they're doing his things, and sometimes they do stories that are back to back. But sometimes they're independent. Very good. I really liked it. The cast was very good. Very interesting. They follow the formula and excel and improve in many ways.
Yeah. No, it was
Funny,
great.
gory. Don't watch your kids.
Yeah,
Unless
it's definitely like the same universe.
Yeah.
If you liked The Boys, you will like this.
Yeah.
I feel confident saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
the piece of resistance of the week,
Yes.
the thing that was like impressed, amazed, happy, glad, and I kind of no, I hate myself because that's but I kind of like, oh, why I avoid this show when it premiered. I saw the trailers, like, it's cute, it's funny, and the numbers were going up, and every week it's like, oh, this number one of the week and this number one of the week. It's like a friend of work watches, like, hey, it's fun, you should watch. It's like, yeah, I know it's fun, it looks fun, but it's like, what's the show called?
One Piece.
One
so
Piece,
good.
an adaptation of a Japanese comic book and animation, a manga and anime, adapted to live action by Netflix. They've been adapting things very successfully, but this one we don't know the source material very well. But
At all.
by tropes and things that we know from other Japanese content, we know there's like, this was not an American writer that decided to make this or this or this or this or this or this or this. So by that we assume the adaptation from the source material is very faithful, and the show is delightful.
It was and like I saw the trailers and was like, this is a bad idea, because how anime is like such a specific style. How could that possibly work as live action? And it did, and like I don't know how they did it, because as we're watching it, we're like, oh my gosh, this is so anime. Like the haircuts and hair colors and like the whole style of the world was so
Characters stopping to say, yeah!
Yeah! Like, how do they find an actual human being who looks like an anime character? I think all they added to him was like a little, I think they like zhuzhed up his eyebrows a little bit, but like, I don't know how they did this, how they took animation and made it look like believable and palatable and just like delightful in live action. I don't know. Marvelous.
The funny guys were funny. The cool
Marvelous
guys
work.
were cool. The pretty girls were pretty.
Yeah.
The bad guys were bad.
Yeah.
Bad. Weird.
The weapons were outlandish, but you just bought it because like the world building and the set design, like the production design, just like mind blowing. It was so cool. It was so cool. It was so fun.
It's also it's about like the whole fighting for your dreams, the power of friendship.
Yeah.
And it's like the best that the Japanese pop culture has. They were able to adapt properly to American audiences, to live action, to world audiences, because Netflix is international. It was jeez, I could always watch back to back, but we did split in a couple of days, and it's really good.
Like, honestly, I could go back and watch it again. I might go back and watch it again.
It's almost good for kids.
I feel like we could watch it with our girls.
There's some parts that are kind of scary when the clown splits itself.
There's that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good. It's up there. Netflix is doing a holy work by adapting this so well. Not letting the problematics of our social culture, social politics, change what was made to be so good. And that's the thing about adaptation. You know, if you're changing much, you're doing it wrong, because
you got to be really careful.
You're making for the fans of the source material, because it was good. It has those fans, and if you adapt it well, now you're gonna have the fans of the source material, and you're gonna get more fans, and that's what happened to One Piece.
For me, that's how I judge an adaptation. Do fans of the original, do fans of the source material love it? Do people have no idea about the source material? Do they love it? A successful adaptation is going to appeal to both. And I get that's really tricky to do. Not everybody can pull it off. It's a very high bar. It's very tricky. I feel like One Piece has done that masterfully. It was so much fun to watch.
The music,
yeah,
so
the
good.
music was so fun, and like the costumes, like
The actors, there's mostly new actors.
Yeah,
there's
mostly unknowns. Yeah,
with
and it was
some exceptions, and they do look so good.
and it was so well written. It was so well written too. Like and I see that this is a hallmark of like almost any really successful show. You have a full cast of characters that you love and that you care about.
Yeah, and they're all very different.
Yeah.
And they all have different colors of hair. Okay, but no,
red and green and blue.
And they all even when he's recruiting his crew, they all have a role in the crew, but they're all part of a family. In which I thought it was really good.
Just like ragtag thing going for him.
Was really good. It's an old trope of television. You have friends and they call themselves a family. He doesn't call themselves a family. He says, these are my friends. They are very young, and that's another thing of the movie, because Japanese do their stories starting really young because they can do forever. Dragon Ball,
it's smart.
Knights of Zodiac,
and
many others.
Yeah.
And it's I have nothing bad to say. I only bad thing I have to say is that I should watch as soon as it came out. But I was like,
what were you thinking?
But I was like, okay, so that's cool. I guess I had a little bit of bitter taste in my mouth after Cowboy Bebop, which I didn't hate. I kind of liked it, but it was bashed everywhere, and because of that, it was canceled. So I was like, I didn't want to give my heart again. But this one is one to do it. Watch it. You're gonna love it. If you love fun, if you love adventure and fights and crazy weird clowns,
sword fights and pirates.
Yeah, pirates.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's so
and
cool.
not like anything even pretending to be like a historically accurate pirate. This is pirate like I'm a little kid dressing up for Halloween as a pirate. This is that kind of pirate.
Yeah.
That was so fun.
Oh, and that's it goes from like the funniest thing, this kid that is always hungry, to someone that sacrifices himself or part of himself to save a stranger's life. Oh, it's beautiful. Anyways,
it's good stuff. Levels.
One Piece, the great thing we saw this week, is available on Netflix. This one you should see it. Don't think about it. Go see that one. Binge if you can. If not, there's a holiday coming. This week you have time to see with your friends, with your family. It's gonna make you feel like a kid again, and it's gonna make you learn things and feel things as a good show does. Yeah,
we happened to finish it today when Netflix released the trailer for the Avatar: The Last Airbender series.
Oh, the sequel for the movie.
He keeps saying that. We're pretending that movie never happened because that's an example of a terrible adaptation. And that's a whole other discussion that we can have when we actually start watching. But anyway, after watching One Piece and then seeing this trailer, I have so much hope for this for the Last Airbender adaptation. They did so well with this one. It just promises great things. So Avatar: Last Airbender is coming February 22nd. Watch the trailer. It's on Instagram. It looks fantastic.
The trailer's everywhere. It looks good. And Netflix has been doing a good job with adaptations.
Yeah.
As we've seen, like in The Witcher. Even though this one is superior, I might say, because The Witcher has some cast problems. I'm not even talking about Cavill living, but anyways, I'll leave it like that. One Piece available on Netflix, and Avatar: The Last Airbender coming February. Also on Netflix, and we might see that one, right?
We might see that one. Yeah, we're watching that one. Okay. Oh man, I can't wait. Okay, the strike is over.
The strike is over just in time for the holidays. Isn't that funny?
Merry Christmas, everybody.
It reminds me of the episode of Seinfeld when Kramer ends his strike and he went back to work on
Yeah.
the bagel store, and then comes a holiday, which is Festivus, and then he decides like, no, you can't make me work on the religious festivals.
Yeah.
And then he stopped working again.
He goes back on
They
strike.
just got back in time for the holidays. But yeah, after 118 days, they decided to find a compromise. They find an agreement that apparently is really good, and they're gonna go back to work. They post like everywhere. It's like, let's go back to work immediately. Not like it's possible, but they
Yeah.
they will. And but the damage is done,
Yep.
and some of the delays are causing Hollywood to move a lot
Yeah.
among things.
The Universal's live action How to Train Your Dragon has been pushed back to. Oh, that's been delayed, as well as Venom 3. Oh no, it's not coming until November of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Blade and Thunderbolts might have actually been canceled.
Yeah.
Was that because of the strike or because of other reasons?
They will say it's because of the strike, but hey, it's not.
Yeah. Deadpool 3 got pushed to July. Captain America 4 got pushed to 2025. Again, oh no.
Yeah. Some of these is like Captain America 4.
Yeah.
The movie changed name already. It's like it's not looking good. Again, this phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's not good, not improving, and it doesn't seem to. Nothing comes that seems to be a light at the end of the tunnel.
Deadpool 3 does seem really
But
promising,
it's
but
technically not
that's
the
an outlier,
MCU.
yeah.
Anyways.
Big time. So that is what's happening with the strike, which is not happening anymore, which is great because
Yes.
I'm tired of talking about it.
Yeah.
It's been 6 freaking months.
Yeah.
So I hope everybody's happy and
So all the great actors and some not so great are coming back to a screen near you.
yes, and more importantly, so are the camera operators and the gaffers
Yeah.
and craft services and all the other people who don't get
They're not gonna get a cent
the
for this
big fat
deal.
paychecks
Yeah.
or the benefits, but at least they get their jobs back, maybe. Okay, let's get through some bad news and then we can finish with some happy things. Gal Gadot organized a screening of IDF footage, IDF, the Israeli Defense Force, of Hamas atrocities. So
Yeah.
she's making sure that people are seeing what
really happened.
is happening.
Yeah. It's like in days like nowadays, it shouldn't be necessary, but she's still doing it. It seems to be necessary. World War II, when Russia was the Soviet Union post World War II, they were like killing Ukrainians with a famine, and they sent journalists there, but one of them. They won a Pulitzer for Walter Durant.
That's right.
It's like, no, nothing is wrong here, and people are dying.
Yeah.
So back in those days, this was a lot more necessary. But nowadays, with all the misinformation and lies that comes from even so-called respectable members of the press, it's necessary for someone to bring truth and images, show. And she did that as an Israeli
Citizen.
citizen, and member of the military, because every Israelite,
That's right.
they are officially member, and she did serve. But anyway,
She did,
so
yeah.
she brought this and showed
Yeah. And in the meantime, apparently...
on a very Wonder Woman kind of move.
Yeah, it's been so frustrating. I try to get news and source my information from a variety of sources, because no one is going to give you the whole picture. Everybody's coming with different biases and different agendas, and like, especially come from different places. But like with this story in particular, what's happening in Israel and Gaza, like, it is so confusing. There's so many lies.
Talking about
And
liars,
it's like impossible, yeah.
CNN fired Gaza-based photojournalist that was found. They found out that he actually worked for Hamas.
Yeah. And I guess that's one thing we can all agree on. Like, Hamas is the worst.
Yeah. So at least they found, or they decided to find this, but they got rid of this one. But yeah. Anyways.
All right, moving on to much lighter things. Stars is laying off 10% of their
How is that
staff.
light? People
Okay.
lost their jobs.
Okay, versus losing their homes and lives and families.
True, sure.
Yeah.
I guess it's lighter.
It is a lot lighter. An entertainment network is shuffling things around and had to fire some people. My condolences. But in the grand scheme of things, this isn't as big a deal. So that happened. What's up with HBO's Casey Bloys?
Oh, last week we talked about this idiot. That was it was being suspected. It was suspicious of creating fake Twitter accounts to bully
TV critics.
They were not giving the appropriate rates to the shows he was producing.
Yeah.
Well, this week he came out and confessed and apologized.
Yep. Quote, a very, very dumb idea.
Oh, yeah.
Once again, to the people of the media.
Was avoidable.
Yes, I offer our consulting services. So often on this podcast, we talk about decisions made by the uppity-ups in Hollywood that were so obviously terrible decisions that we could have avoided the whole thing. So I'm just, again, offering our services.
Yes.
For a small consulting fee.
Oh, yeah.
We will be happy.
We would save you so much money.
Happy
to
put you on the right track.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. AMC. Oh, so Disney apparently was making a 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea series.
Yeah.
Called Nautilus. Mm-hmm. But they scrapped it.
Well, they're not going to release. AMC is going to release. AMC Networks, not the theaters. They're going to release. So it's not completely lost. It's not just going to be endorsed on Disney or Disney Plus, at least not for now.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. John Cena was working on a project called Coyote versus Acme. I assume that's about Wile E. Coyote?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It was shelved following the same destiny as Scooby-Doo Christmas, I think that's what it's called, and Batgirl. You know, it was done. It was ready. Nope. We don't want to see that. You don't want to talk about that?
Yeah. Well, we have the year of wrestling fans. WWE NXT has moved to the CW.
Yeah.
So, that's right. Drama and shenanigans on the CW.
Also
Who
on
could have seen that
CW.
coming?
Also on CW. Superman and Lois. That's not quite news. It was like all over the news this week. But we knew this next season is going to be a last one. It's going to be a short season. I think 12, 13 episodes.
That sounds
and it's
right.
going to be a last one.
Yeah, which it's fine.
Yeah.
Another television.
When you don't have access to the full content, and nowadays with copyrights and trademarks and multiple franchises, when you cannot use the whole thing, it's tough to write. Superman has so many characters. You could write 4 years, but because it's crunched and limited, and you can go expanding the universe so much because. So and that or mediocrity, some new characters that make no sense, or changing core characters, and it ends for good or bad reasons because of that.
Superman and Lois is not the only thing coming to an end on television. Homer Simpson will no longer be strangling Bart.
Yeah, I guess it's wrong, but it was always wrong.
To strangle your child, yeah.
Yeah, it was always wrong. And,
we were never supposed to be a fan of Homer for strangling Bart.
Yeah, no, but you always knew that, and that's like a crazy, wild, cartoonish reaction. But I guess Wolf got them, and he's not gonna do that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad about it because, it's not the end of the world. But this does something that frustrates me.
But if Homer stops being Homer, is he even Homer?
Is that really, is strangling his eldest child, is that really so core to his identity? Isn't there more to Homer than that? The donuts, the incompetence.
Oh, so you think Homer is only donuts? I
think that's a big part of it. I think a lot of Homer is the donuts.
Anyways,
it's something that's really frustrating, portraying something on TV as condoning it, when, that's not...
Yeah, no.
That's not
And
at all.
that's why we don't have bad guys anymore. Someone there was this one. I'm pretty sure you saw Kamala Johnny. I think that's his name.
Yeah.
He's doing this comedy routine. Oh, what's the character he's talking about? Is that Hitler? No, it's Freddy Krueger.
Yes.
Freddy
Yeah.
Krueger.
Oh my gosh, he's so funny.
So on the old Freddy versus Jason movie. So there's two victims that show up. A white girl,
there's a little white girl and a little black girl.
And he says like, white meat or black meat?
He says dark meat.
Dark meat, and people like, oh, I was
Yeah.
like, really? He's a bad guy.
I know. We're okay with. I think he says something like, "We're okay with you murdering children in their dreams."
Right.
But racism.
Yeah, Mr. Freddy.
To be clear, we do not condone, support, or participate in racism of any kind.
Oh my god.
But like, are we really
going
going to be offended by our bad guys being bad guys?
Yeah.
Remember the billboard? There's a billboard for
Jennifer Lawrence in the X-Men Apocalypse.
Yes.
Yeah. He was like strangling a
Apocalypse
woman.
was strangling Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
And
He's a bad guy.
And people were like, "No, that's terrible." Like, that's the point.
Yeah.
He's a very bad man.
There's a problem
His name
with society.
is Apocalypse.
There's a problem with society when we don't have bad guys. You created this stupid mentality. It's like, he can't do that. It's like, yeah, he can't. He's the bad guy. But he's doing it anyways. Anyways.
Anyway. I'm getting so worked up I can't talk anymore. Okay, let's finish off with some happy news. Hulu is reviving Prison Break again.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I will wait and see. Cause they are getting the guy from the Mayans, which I heard is really good. We still have to watch but before I have to watch Sons of Anarchy. But before that, I'm gonna watch Sopranos. So it's down the list. But I heard the guy is good. Yeah. And we'll see. Hulu does good job. Does holy work as well. But this one, the original show is so good. So good.
The way I feel about this is like
Michael Scofield, this master escapist.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
so good.
I feel my feelings about this are the same as like the Downton Abbey movies. Like, we don't need this at all. It's completely unnecessary. But if you're gonna give me more of Michael Scofield, I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be as good as the series? No, it's not. But we'll watch it. The Bear was renewed
and they were like competent enough and bold enough to end when it was time. So only 5 seasons, something like that. They didn't extend it for 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, I know the story
11.
was done.
Yeah. Anyways.
Story that's not done is The Bear.
Yeah, it was announced it was renewed for season 3, and my question is like, why it took you guys so long?
Yeah, this like widely popular, beloved show.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. I highly recommend it.
Listen to me, cousin. Watch this show. Anyways,
good.
Legend of Zelda has this live action announced being developed by Nintendo. Nintendo's on top of things. Huge success with Mario, and more's coming. And they have good properties.
Yes, and I'm very intrigued by a Legend of Zelda game. I feel like there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah.
Okay, last but not least, Jared Leto is being Jared Leto.
Yeah, this time he climbed the Empire State Building to promote a new tour for his band, 30 Seconds to Mars, I think that's the name.
That sounds right. I don't know.
And yeah, he did. He went up there, so it's cool. Good for him, and I guess good for the band. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, best wishes, guys.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about him, so I guess it works.
Yeah. Sure, that is the goal of a publicity stunt, right?
Yeah. Anyways, I guess that's it for this week.
Sure.
We saw so many good things and bad things. We saw that Disney was hoping for this like girl power momentum. You know, we had Barbie, we had Taylor Swift, and they brought the Marvels in. Anyways, next week you're gonna see the prequel for the action movie book inspired what's it called? Hunger Games.
That's right.
The Ballad of the Slow Bird, and snake violent.
I'm gonna be honest. Every time I try to think of the title for this movie, all I come up with is A Song of Ice and Fire, and that's not it
That's
either.
not it.
That's not it at all.
But there'll be songs because we saw
There's
they
something
sing
about a song, yeah, the ballad of.
and of the snake and the bird. The ballad of song is the songbird
It's
and
the new
snake.
Hunger Games movie.
Yeah, we're gonna watch that and see how it goes. And gonna come back to talk. We're gonna talk about the finale of Loki. That is like, this season is like, I don't know.
I slept through half of it.
But and also, there's good stuff coming. There's the finale of Upload, which I don't know. It shouldn't be that good, but it's then okay.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
Yeah. We're gonna start watching the new season of For All Mankind, The Invincibles, and there's all this stuff we watch, and we come back to talk. But for this week, that's it.
Yep.
May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.